Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, madam. My name is Mio Muhammad Denia Bemben Sharizal. My matrix number UDA 210150. And I am group leader from Group 13. Today, our group members want to present about Malaysian Public List Company Ratio. Before we start, I want to introduce about our group members. Our group members consist 6 members. First, Mio Muhammad Daniel. Second, Muhammad Syamil Fakris, Tan Kai, Danish Hazri, Wan Muhammad Iskandar, and Alfad Iziad. So, I will proceed with an introduction to our 2 preferred company lists on the Bursa Saham Malaysia. So, our group choose the 2 company from beverage food. First company is Power Berhad. Second company is Cocoaland Holding Berhad. So let's move on to Cocoaland Holding Berhad. The history of Cocoaland began when 2 brothers operate tiny stores in the Klang Valley, offering deep fried snacks including banana fritters. Later, other brothers joined them and they shift their company operation upstream to take advantage of better profit. In 1918, Meat Food Enterprise Sdn Berhad, a producer and distributor, was established. The firm initially entered the international market by exporting to the Middle East in the middle of the 1918, when the brothers discovered a market possibility for the production of polytube beverage. Due to business growth, LB Food Sdn Berhad was established on January 23, 1984, and it currently serves as the group main trading arm from distributing its house brand of processed and preserved food as well as fruit both domestically and internationally. So, let's move on to Power Root Berhad. Power Root is a company listed on the main market of Bursa Saham Malaysia and was found on July 23, 1999. In Johor, Malaysia, this company is also known for developing herbal energy drinks that are brought to life by 2 main types of rainforest herbs, namely Tongkat Ali and Kacik Fatimah. The herbs produced by Power Road also promote physical well-being and have received good feedback from Malaysians. Power Road Berhad also promotes this local product in the international market and better coordinates its logistics to provide good service to its customers. So that's all about introduction for 2 company lists from Bursa Saham Malaysia. Thank you, madam.
Assalamualaikum, madam. My name is Muhammad Iskandar bin Roza. Now look at my part, liquidity ratio. For liquidity ratio, have 2 parts. First one is current ratio. Power Berhad and Cocoaland then have enough asset to cover liabilities if their company suffer. Second, quick ratio. For quick ratio, Power Berhad company and Cocoaland holding have a quick ratio of more than 1. Thank you.
Alright, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Alfad Iziad bin Fazli Izzat, and my matrix number is UDA 210139. So I would like to continue about our point, which refers to efficiency ratio. So first, we got inventory turnover ratio. What is inventory turnover ratio? Inventory turnover ratio is the rate that inventory stock is sold or used and replaced. The inventory turnover ratio is also calculated by dividing the cost of goods by average inventory for the same period. So in this case, inventory turnover ratio Cocoaland Holdings company is better than the Power Berhad company. And next is account receivable, which refers to the money a company's customer owe for goods or services that they have received but not paid yet. So for both companies have long period to collect their account receivable. Next is total asset turnover. Total asset turnover is measure how effectively a company uses as its assets to generate revenue or sales. And for both company, the total asset turnover ratio is low. Alright, so I think that's all for now. We can continue with our point. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Tan Shazid bin Madhusham. My matrix number is UDA 210121. So we proceed with the leverage ratio of Power Berhad Company and Cocoaland Holding Company. The first part is debt ratio. The debt ratio for both companies is below 55%. It's the Power Berhad has a debt ratio of 23.7% compared to Cocoaland Holding Company, which is 12% lower than Power Berhad Company. It is good for both companies because both companies can reduce the potential losses that may occur in the event of liquidation. The second part is the times interest earned. The times interest earned for both companies is higher than 2.5 times, which is considered as an acceptable risk. For the Power Berhad Company, the time interest earned is 183.48 times compared to the Cocoaland Holding Company, which is 2065.58 times higher than the Cocoaland Holdings Company. With the time interest earned by both companies, they have the ability to cover their interest charge from their operation profits and are able to meet their interest obligation. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ai. Assalamualaikum and greetings to my beloved Madam Siti Amirah and my fellow friends. My name is Muhammad Syamil Fakris bin Muhammad Saini. My matrix number is UDA210024 and I will be presenting my parts, which is profitability. In profitability, there are three types of it, which is first is net profit margin, second is return on asset, and last is return on equity. First, net profit margin. The net profit margin for Power Berhad Company is 9.16%, which means that the company only earns a net profit of 9 and 16 cents for every 1 ringgit Malaysia of sales made. Compared to the Cocoaland company, which has 10% higher than the Power Berhad, which means the Cocoaland Holdings earn a net profit of 10 cents for every 1 ringgit 1 ringgit Malaysia of sales made. Second, return on asset. The return on asset for the Power Berhad company is 8.13%, more than 5%. Therefore, every 1 ringgit Malaysia of assets provided to the company, the management will get a return after tax or 8 cents ringgit Malaysia, compared to the Cocoaland Holdings Company, which is 7.8%, also more than 5%. Therefore, every 1 ringgit Malaysia of assets provided by the company, the management will get a return after tax of 7 cents ringgit Malaysia, slightly different from the return of asset of the Power Berhad. And last, return on equity. Return on equity for both companies is the same, which shows a low rate of 15 till 20%. That's all for me. And next, I will pass to Tankai. Thank you.
Hi madam, my name is Tan Kai and my matrix number is UDA 210101. So I will continue with the recommendation part. Based on the analysis made by Power Berhad and Cocoaland Holdings, there are several recommendations that can be given to the company based on the problem faced by each. First, need to improve sales by implementing aggressive sales and checking the latest sales price of the product. Second, need to increase production so that it can increase the company sales higher and goods. Lastly, company can use more financial leverage. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the great presentation. Now I will proceed to the last part about the conclusion to both companies. In conclusion, Both companies have strengths and weaknesses in the ratio calculation and analysis that have been made. As for the liquidity ratio, both companies show good results where their current ratio and quick ratio are greater than 1, which show that their assets are enough to cover their liabilities. As for the efficiency ratio, both companies have weaknesses in collecting account receivable debt and total asset turnover, indicating that the company needs to increase their sales and dispose of some of its assets. In addition, the leverage ratio for both companies does not have weaknesses. In fact, both companies also show good performance in the debt ratio and time interest ratio. Last but not least, the profitability ratio for the net profit margin of Power Group Berhad is 9.60%, lower than Cocoaland Berhad, which is 10%. For the return of asset, both companies show more than 5%, which is Power Group Berhad to be 8.30% and return after tax to be RM 8 cent, while Cocoaland Holding Berhad to be 7.8% and the return after tax to be RM 7 cent. For the return of equity, both companies show a bad return to the shareholder and low rate of 50 from 20%, which is for Power Berhad to be 9% and Cocoaland Holding Berhad to be 10.65%. So that's all about conclusion and for our presentation. Thank you, madam, for your attention. Bye.